Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday live call. Thursday National Assembly of South Africa meeting. We all are live. It's a live call. I didn't want to use other words. Yeah, I think it's 7:05, so I'd like to share the video that we've prepared for today. Just let me find this in the shared. Yeah. Okay.
Question: where can I make a difference? Answer: be part of the restoration sweeping our world. It is us, each one of us. Whatever we do it ourselves, for our people and for our planet. Our world is in a terrible grip of brokenness, homeless people, broken families, schools not being able to educate like they should, desperation of jobless people not being able to provide, hopelessness of situations, medical crisis upon medical crisis, scams, media chaos, lies, deceit, corruption, polluted water, air, and food. Who do we trust? We can trust ourselves by taking this opportunity to make a change, not just a difference. We can. Start thinking and doing what is beneficial to us, restoring this brokenness. Please, all hands on deck. If we do not take this opportunity, the evil dark side is ready and knows how to do it, to take over again. But we can change it now. Everything you think and do it with your uniqueness in mind. Nobody can do what you can. You have a specific skill set, heart set, mindset, temperament, intellect, background that makes you unique and very valuable to this plan. You are much needed. Please do not keep back, but give. Just consider what you sow. That is what you will reap, good and bad. Let's choose wisely. Now is the time that we all need to contribute, to plant into that which we want our tomorrows to look like. Each and every person is equal as sovereign beings. There is no hierarchy. Sovereign equality is our portion, and we are going forward. Is that what you want? If your answer is yes, then this is the plan. But a plan without people to carry it, to establish it, to make it come true, are just words on paper. Everything is ready for us to step in and to do it.
I think Tank would say good evening, everybody now. So good evening, everyone. It's, sorry, there's another one to admit. Two people to fall off. We are now 25 in the chat. This is very nice. Everybody's welcome. And I think Eunice found something out in her life. I don't know if she was always like this. She's always creating something new, always probably using new tools, and creates this magnificent videos that even I think young people would have problems sometimes to use the apps. Thank you, Eunice, for creating this video. Very inspiring. I really like it. And yeah, therefore I'm handing over to Eunice with one more comment. I would love for us to invite more people. I would love that we mushroom now, so to say, and all the people that have ever heard of us are coming back to us, and with good ideas, with good intentions, with good vibrations, and are happy to join us, that we maybe soon reach 50, 75, 100, 200,000 people in these calls. Because we have to create 3 million. 3 million. We have to create, maybe not on the call, but we have to create a lot of assemblies, community assemblies, and set them up. So everybody who feels it's time for a change in South Africa is invited. And as Eunice already shared, as assembly officers, as starting assemblies in knowledge banks and the restoration teams. But I'm handing now over to Eunice. Don't want to take too much of the time.
Hi everybody. I said to the group this week, I don't think we officers should talk so much. We must please give you a chance to talk. So I'm not going to talk a lot. That's why I did the narration on the presentation. There's one thing that I do want to leave with all of you. Every one of you have a role to play in where we're going with the restoration. Every one of us. There is not one person, not a child, not an elderly person, not a fat or a young or a rich or a poor person. Every person has a role to play. Somebody else cannot do what you have to do. When Kim said there's a void, she actually really meant it. What Kim is saying is that because the powers that be is not really in control anymore, but we are not in place yet. We are not networking as such that the money can flow and that we can do what we have to do. So tonight I'm asking every one of you, please, to look inside your heart and really come on board and help us. There's many different things that you can do, different places where you can play a role without leaving your home, without doing a lot of extra work. I'm not asking you to go out on the streets. If you want to do that, that's fine. We'll cheer you on. But whatever you can do, please help us with that. And by helping us, you're helping yourself, we're helping our country, and that's why we are all on this call. So welcome to all of you. So we're going to talk about the 4 areas where you can do something, duties, bring your part, take part in it. And that is the restoration teams. That's the teams that's going to work on projects and work in a community on the needs assessment, where we want to go with what we're doing in a community. And you don't have to take all of it on. You can just take on that which you're interested in. So that's the first group. The same groups will be knowledge banks, where you will not directly work in the community, but where you will service all the communities with your knowledge. Put it on an app. We're going to have it all together in one bank, so that when people need that knowledge that you are walking around with, that you don't even think has a lot of value, but it does. That's the knowledge banks. The third group is the assembly officers. And please do, I want to stress this again. There is none of us on a higher level or on another level. We have different jobs to do, but we're all on the same level. All of us are on the same level. So there's officers in the assembly, and their job is to open up areas for people to come in, to tell people about it, to bring people to the meetings, and so that they can also get started and work together on this wonderful restoration plan. And then the fourth group is project management, where we're not really working on it yet, but very soon we're going to need a lot of project managers to help on that. So I just wanted to say to you, there's somewhere where you fit in perfectly. Please do not leave it to somebody else. Please come on board and do your part. And in the coming weeks, we're going to speak to you guys and find out. But tonight, I want each of you to please come on. We're going to open the lines, and we want you to talk and say, what do you think? Where do you think you fit in? If there's anything you need, just, yeah. Unati, your question will be dealt with on the 4th of February in the America Assembly. So we're not going to speak about it now, but I would love to speak to you about it and give you more information of what is happening. Okay, Unati wants to know about the ratification and the PGSD. And Kim is busy working on that. We do not have all the answers yet, but we do know where we're going with that. I have prepared all the ratification papers for all of you, samples of them, so that whoever wants to do a ratification, if you've got 3 people together in your area and they want to ratify, contact me. I'll give it to you. I'll help you with it. It's not a form that you have to fill out. Please understand that. Every community will do their own thing. But people ask me, don't you have a sample of how we have to do this? So that's all I've prepared for you, is a sample. So you take that sample and you can throw it away, or you can use it, or you can chop it around, or do whatever you want to do with it. It's just to help you, because some people say it feels like such a vast area, and it's actually very easy. For the first part, before you can send it in for ratification, I think would not take you more than 3 days, at maximum 3 days. So we'll, yeah. Yes.
Just on this point, what we imagine is that we have maybe assemblies in the size of what we call now wards. So smaller units. There can be no assembly too small. So if you are just focusing on your own, I don't know, blocks, 5 blocks or whatever, where you bring people together, do it. The smaller a unit, actually, the more I feel the more impact you will have. If we just say, for example, we focus on, I don't know, Durban, that's a huge area with lots of situations, lots of problems, and lots of people to talk to. So start small steps and get a few people together in your same building, and they say, let's take care of the area here, of the ratepayer association area, so to say. Just start small, and the smaller you start, the easier for you is also to understand. We will help you to walk through the documents that we've prepared. And so setting up the documents is definitely quite easy. And I wouldn't like to overwhelm you with parts of saying you need to take care of Northern Free State, or Free State, or whatever. Start small, and then from there you can grow and help other community assemblies to get started. And then everything can move forward.
Jay, sorry, I see what Unati is asking, so I'm going to answer as quick and as good as I can answer it. So it came under the attention of a lot of the people in South Africa that Kelly from the PGSD decided to remove us from the PGSD registry as a national assembly, because they feel that if a national comes in, everybody looks to national to do something, where they actually want every one of the communities to stand on their own. Now, if you look at the structure and you listen to us, this is exactly what we want. We want every community to do their own thing. We are, I've got lots of projects that I want to do. Jay's got projects. We don't want to stay here as officers. We're not here because it's a position or because we want to be here. We are here to help. And if we can open the door for people, that's exactly what we want to do. So the National Assembly is not important at all. What is important is the community assemblies. So what the PGSD said, if we can have 466 communities up and running, and they can vote, then we can decide whether we want a National Assembly or not. In the meantime, we are a National Assembly. Nobody can dismiss us. They cannot just delete us. If one person decides to do that, that's their choice. But our choice is to keep on doing the work that we're doing, because that is what we feel is needed in our country. And that is where we stand with that. But in the meantime, every group that wants to ratify can do their ratification, send it into the PGSD, and wait for the ratification. Kim is also working on this. Kim Gogan is working on this. We are not forgotten. South Africa is very important, but I don't know if you guys know about it, but South Africa is really in the firing line. And Kim has got her hands full with all the things that needs to be done to keep us safe in South Africa and to sort out things on many, many different levels. So they are busy working on that. I hope that answers your question, Unati, but you're welcome. You can speak.
Unati, if you want to speak, and just unmute yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Eunice, for this explanation, because it was really worrisome for me. I think we have to be honest in South Africa, right? as much as the entire African continent. The reality is that we are a continent that I seriously believe that we were the greatest target for the reptilians for centuries and millennia. And this whole issue of race and gender is so deep in this continent, more than in any other continent, but specifically the whole racial division, right? And the history that we know is that 1652, Jan van Riebeeck came here and the whole mess. But then we learned later that, in fact, there was always, people coming in and going out of the continent. Same like if white people came to Africa, then there were black people that went to other continents as well. And some were good, some were bad, both races, right? I really want us to sit with that, because I think it's going to be important for us to move forward. I am this Black woman that really wants to make sure that life force works, that the unity between Black and white works, that the unity between women and men works, right? But I need to make sure that whoever that I'm bringing in the life force community is gonna be catered for and comfortable, not necessarily fully comfortable, but at least some of the, like, I don't want us to put hope on people and then we are not able to produce. For me, that's so important, because
what are you talking about? Exactly what are you talking about now?
okay.
When you say you don't want to give them hope and then it's not there, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Yes. So let me put an example. When the ANC came in 1994, there were so many hopes for Black people. And we were fooled, obviously. Because
you mean promises made that wasn't kept?
Yes, of course. So I do not want us as life force to do the same thing, right? So I really want to make sure that we don't make promises, but we are saying to people, you don't wait for a savior, and we are not coming in as saviors. Yes. For me, this is the problem, is this savior mentality. So it should be really about us coming in to the life force to make things happen.
Yes.
So when we are introducing life force to people, we need to make sure that we put that should be our priority. And in fact, we should put that in bold italics, or whatever it is that we choose to say. You are not gonna come here in this space expecting. You are here to make things happen. Right?
Yes.
And once we get that, we don't necessarily raise expectations that we cannot be able to afford at the end of the day.
So 100% right, Unati. And this is why I say focus on your own area. And even if there is no money coming at the moment, or nothing really of a structure, or we're not ratified, there will come a needs assessment. You will come to understand the neighbors better. You will come to understand your community better. And you will maybe come up with plans that do not cost money, or the money suddenly comes from somewhere else. So it's not about the start. It's not about promising everybody will be rich and will get a house, as many people understood when the apartheid was falling down. So it's that we have to do it. We have to build our own houses. We have to build our own streets. We have to build our own needs assessment. We have to understand what the needs are and then focus on it. I will give you one example that I was puzzled about quite a long time ago. I visited a friend in an area here, one of the townships, and I was asking why actually is so much litter here in your area. And there was a beautiful river, and everything was just full of litter. And I said, this is your area, and why don't you care for your own area where you live and where you walk through every day? And she looked at me and said, the people say we are not getting paid for cleaning up the dirt. So this is the mentality in this area. I don't want to say this is in general, but this was the mentality there, that they drop whatever they eat and lays around, and you see this very often, and then they're not picking it up. But we have to start caring for our environment. And if I go to somewhere through a restaurant or so, and there's somebody lying on the floor, I pick it up because I want to sit in a nice restaurant. And that's the mentality that I think we have to start fostering all over South Africa, at least. And we from the national, we're actually only a community rollout team. We can bring it down to this. This is our main task. Our main task is to install hundreds, if not 2,000 or 2,500 community assemblies. We are orientating ourselves by the numbers of the wards that we have at the moment. But this doesn't mean that it has to be in the same area. That's our main focus. Educate the people, inspire them, and give them the understanding what is self-governance and what does everybody needs to do in his own area. So exactly as you say, it's not about waiting for a savior. We are not the savior. We are just give you work, so to say. But we don't give you the work. We just give you the tools to see what work needs to be done in your area. We're not coming with a plan. We're not saying you need a school, you need an airport, you need whatever. It's for the community to come up with. Actually, we maybe should have a crash here, or we maybe should plant some trees, or we maybe should have a field where we start some agriculture, or a playground for the kids, etc., etc. Don't want to take too much of the time.
Can I just join in with something? Yeah. Unati, what you just said about racism, I just want to tell you something. South Africa is not a racist country. I walk along amongst a lot of different races, and I see their hearts. And there's a handful, there are people who are very racist, but the deep state actually use that as programs to roll it over us. So in Life Force, we do not look at races, religion, gender. That's not important. There are 4 basic areas that we all see eye to eye. Whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or whatever, it doesn't matter where you are, because that's where you live. But when we come into Life Force, there's 4 basic things: clean water, clean air, clean food, and people. We take care of people. Now, if that is what anybody wants to do, that's what they do. If people want to work amongst elderly people, they can. If they want to work with children, they can. If they want to work with Black children, they can. If they want to work with white children, they can. It doesn't matter where you work, but we're going to change this country of ours. We are here full force to do it. And tonight we want to hear from you guys. Where do each of you want to fit in? What do you want to do? So I'd really love us for the next couple of minutes to really, every one of you, just pipe in and say, what do you think you can do, or what can you bring? Amongst the number of people, there are so many skills. There's so much that it's just crazy what we can do if we put our heads together and we start moving from here. I've placed a little poem there. I don't know who wrote that poem. I'm special on the chat group. So if you can download that, that would be good for you to have a look at that, because actually each of us is so unique. And that's why we want to talk about that tonight. So
we are unique. That's exactly the point. We are unique. And when Eunice says, or we are saying we don't mean we 3 officers. We mean all of us. So we have everyone. And it's like saying we want to clean the streets of South Africa. No, we can't. We need all of us to get together as one part, and everybody does this little part, his or her little part. Any volunteers who wants to join?
Jay, I think you should ask people, just pick randomly names and ask them, what do they want to do here?
Okay.
What have they got to bring to the table?
There's no force, of course. If you don't feel
calling,
just go for. But I'm just picking up people that maybe I haven't heard so much. Connecting to Auto. Snazo is not connected so far.
We just want to know something about you. Just tell us what can you do? What do you know? Where's your heart at?
Yeah, Snazo is not connecting with the audio, so to say. Bonnie, what about Bonnie?
Yes.
I'd like to share something.
Come on, Bonnie. Tell us who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I love all of this, and my heart has always been to uplift the frequency. I don't fit in this 3D world. My energy belonged. I can't, within me, I can't hate. It's just I don't have it in me. So I always feel I've always belonged to 5D, and I always felt different in a crowd, and I don't belong to a crowd. Even at work, when they have parties, I just don't fit in. So at this stage, I'm adamant not to be vaccinated, but I've come to a point where work is mandating it if we're not fully vaccinated by the 1st of Feb. And so this quiet little girl is almost one or two of the staff members that have put my foot down. And it's not going to be easy because there's a retrenchment package coming up, and I have to recreate myself now. But I know I can do it. I want to write books for children because I think the education sucks badly, because when I had to look for schools for my kids, I could not find it. Even I managed to get both my kids into very good schools, but that still wasn't what I wanted. It never taught genius in children, So this is my thinking. I want to start creating books. Now that free time is coming up and I'm leaving my job, and it's opening up whole new avenues for me, and I have to stay positive. I can't think of lack, although I'm worried about that, not earning. But the doors are opening, so I'm very excited and I have to stay where I'm at because I know the doors are opening. And because another thing is, I'm one of my family members is looking at farming. Okay, so I said, well, put your plan together. It may get ratified by Life Force. So they're working very hard on putting this together because they have also just left work in a corporation. I thought, yay. Things are happening, things are changing rapidly because the energy, I just feel the frequency, and we must be really happy. I'm so grateful for Life Force because there's so much scope. And so I'm looking forward to this. I don't want to go into the negative side. I was a little bit down when I was in a meeting with a company, and threw out all their toys, and they didn't want to listen to truth. So I thought, no, I'm not going to waste my time with this lot. And so I'm just waiting to put my grievance once I get my package. So yes, we have to fight. We have to stand up against these tyrants. And yeah, I'm with all you guys. I'm really excited about what's coming and what we're creating.
Thank you so much for sharing. I forgot to mention, this is what I didn't want to stop you, that we would like to have 2 minutes per person.
Yes, sorry. Thank you.
But we enjoyed listening to you. Thank you,
Just
Bonnie.
one point, I'm not a lawyer, but my little understanding that I have is wait for you to get fired. Do not quit the job on your own. They need to fire you to get you out when this is their rule. So this is just a little thing that I picked up, but I'm not. I won't give you this. I can't give you.
Do not consent.
Yes, I have not given them the yes or the no, so I'm leaving it up to them. But yes.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Bonnie, our question tonight is: where do you see yourself fitting? You talk about these people working on projects. Will they be okay to work with other people around what they are doing in projects?
Yes, this will be more farming. Okay, so that would be a project on farming.
Okay,
and a small farm. It's a small farm.
I quickly want to tell you something. If we go to an area, say you take Swartruggens, I'm just taking a name now. The farmers in that area will have to together bring a needs assessment to the repository, to Kim. She's not going to just do 1 year and 1 day. We don't want to do it 1-1. We want to change our country. So if those farmers can start talking to one another, each one does their own project, but together they regroup It opens the line for the money to flow, for the projects to happen, for more people to come on board. So please speak to those people, and if they don't want to stand together as a restoration team for agriculture then. Okay.
I will let them know. Thank you.
That's actually what we are about tonight. We want to see where can we fit in with others, because there is so much power if you've got a group of people standing together. Then all of a sudden it's a flame. There's life. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just made a screenshot from the restoration teams that we are imagining. I will post this to the group as well. The same structure.
Okay. Cool.
For the nationwide knowledge banks, assembly officers, we always suggest for each community assembly to have 3. What we decide for national is to take 5 with a rolling rotation, so that one steps up, a new one comes on, so that we are only 3 years, any officer is 3 years on. The one who's leaving out is educating or mentoring the one who was joining, so that there will be always 2 experienced officers and 1 leaving, 1 joining, so somehow like this. And yeah, project management is quite clear. Lots of things needs to be from finance, from everything what project management is about. But I'm talking too much. And Unati, you already talked a little bit. Let's see if somebody else is there. What about maybe Ms. Bulelwa? Would you like to share a little bit?
Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
I'm Bulelwa from Port Elizabeth or Graveja. I'm a change maker, and I'm sorry about the background. The kids are playing downstairs. I'm more like on the education and training, so I'm not sure where does that fit in on the 4 things that we have put in there.
Are you working in education in Port Elizabeth? Is there some other people talking with you there?
Not in education department, but I'm working for a company that is dealing with skills gap in between the adult training. So I'm not really under a department of education, but I am on the education sector.
Can I just quickly tell you something? We're really not looking at departments to tell us where to go from here. We're looking at people like you who say you're a change maker. And from here, we will change things that's good for the people and that we can go forward. If it fits in with the department, that's fine. But we're not taking their documents or their leading and then take that into any area that we're moving into. We actually want the people to self-govern by deciding what is good for them. What do they want for their children? Where do we want to go? Like Bonnie said, she wants to write children's books. Bonnie, don't sleep, write those books. We need them. We really need them. If we have a heart for the people for restoration, that's what we have to do. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes, for now I'm with Unati in the East London assembly.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful.
Okay, so you've started already. As people will join, you will see that more and more people have got ideas about education, want to talk about it. And then you're going to look at what is needed in education in Port Elizabeth, because there's transports for the children. Do they have enough food? What are the hours? Uniforms, the school books, what's the curriculum? There's so many things that goes into it. Teachers, are the teachers well trained? Are the teachers really teachers? Have they got the heart of a teacher? So those are the things that you look at once you start with a needs assessment. But you can start on that so long, because I can hear this is your heartbeat. Thank you.
Bianca has her hand raised. What's the right English pronunciation? Bianca raised her hand. Would you like to speak?
Yes, come on.
Hi, everybody. I hope that you're well. I really do like what your initiative is all about. I have spoken to Eunice, Tandy, and Tom with regards to our project. We're based in Johannesburg, and we're an NPO, or should I say NPC, non-profit organization that takes in babies, but the babies that are thrown into the street, into the latrines, left at the cemeteries, babies that are brand new. We've got to the point where we've secured our premises. This weekend, we'll be setting everything up, and we've already been contacted for the first child. that will come to our place or to our baby sanctuary so that we can, take care of her. And that's how far we are. In order to sustain us, because there is no income in doing an initiative like this, we've also set up a tutoring center with Impact, who've got the CAPS curriculum, and we're not charging these prices that these private tutoring centers are charging, but that is the way that myself and my sister and Nadia have thought of keeping everything afloat, because asking for money is kind of hard when nobody has money, and approaching these big corporations or these blue chip companies, they just never come back to you. So yeah, that's who we are, or I am, and that is what we're currently doing.
Keep on doing what you're doing. The breakthrough is coming and there will be lots of help, but keep on doing what you're doing. Great stuff.
I'm involved in another initiative where we were starting to teach people, roll out programs of teaching and education. And we just enrolled 100 young mothers who started being pregnant and buried in the teenage area. So this could be also an area when you're looking for the children who are abandoned, maybe even get people on board who are focusing on the women who are pregnant in the area, very young pregnancy or so. I wouldn't suggest that it's your task, but maybe this opens up for you and someone else that you address someone, and then we maybe also can help with the training. We are in contact with sponsors who finance this program, and then we roll this program out for free into the communities. Yeah, thank you very much. Maybe
I just quickly want to say something exactly what you're talking about now. That's what's so important in us going forward, because you cannot do all of the different tasks. So another group will come in to speak to the pregnant teenagers, or to pregnant ladies who don't want their baby, unwanted pregnancies. These very different areas, but they all fit together in the child and family restoration. And yes, so once you get started, when more people flow into the assembly, you will find more people in your area who can work with you, and also wider than your assembly. They can help you with the knowledge banks on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you look at the restoration team number 3, we call it at the moment Humankind Services. This is about children, disabled, youth, and everybody. And so the group 3 will have different, I think this is here about 12 or 8 subcategories where we need then somebody who steps up to lead this subcategory. For example, for children, for disabled, for the youth, for women, for men, for females, for old people, for social development, for traditional affairs. And maybe more. So whatever comes up, we have about, I think Eunice correct me, 72 different sub areas where we need 82. Wow. Yeah. Where we need more people who are passionate about this, and then can help and step up and says, I want to be involved in this department as a volunteer, or maybe later as a paid person, or maybe even as a in a leadership role. Let's say it this way. Okay, Sheila, would you maybe like to share something?
Good afternoon, guys. I'm Sheila Mutapo. I'm the director of K Mutapo Trading Pty Ltd. I'm mainly in construction and in transport. I do local transporting school kids, and I do trips like maybe we want to go in a vacation, family vacation, business vacation. And then in construction, as a female, a young female, I come across with bullying from the men and the ANC, DA and other people. Sorry to mention them, but they're in my mouth. So what I've noticed is that they don't take female people serious in the construction industry. They take us for granted. You need to be firm for you to be taken serious, or you need to start being a bit rude. Though you don't like being rude, but you need to be rude. But another thing what I've noticed with construction, there are few females in construction. Most people think construction is for men. So if most women, especially youth, if they can also go that route. My plan was to start something in my ward, which is Ward 96 based, and we are in Region A. I wanted to start with 10 women. I already engaged with my ward councillor and other community stakeholders like Sanko to assist me to find 10 women that I can mentor under my construction company so that I can assist them to open and own their companies. Then I'm still going to try and engage with other construction companies to assist in terms of the skills that are needed. Hence, you know, in construction, you have to, maybe the civil department, there's painting, etc. But I'm still new, it's my first day now. I just need to listen and learn before I start confusing myself. But I'm happy with the initiation. I'm looking forward. I'm supporting it. I'm 100% behind it.
Yeah. So just on this, a friend of mine started an initiative called WINDY, Women in Development and Infrastructure. So maybe I'll post the website here. That's exactly for people like you, windy.africa. It's quite a powerful organization who is actually caring for females, women in construction and development. So maybe just have a look if something is resonating for you there. They're quite powerful, they're quite connected. The other point...
Okay, thank you. I'll take note of it.
The other point that I just wanted to mention is the workshop that I was involved in, also focusing on empowering 1 million women. So there's so much power, there's so much futures, there's so much creativity in the female part, and this is what we would like to support. So definitely also if you feel you have lots of construction workers together or people who are running construction companies, infrastructure, let us know, reach out to me, and maybe we can also set up for some workshops for you as well. So this is where we come to empower people.
Okay, that's excellent. So I take each and every opportunity that comes in. I'm going to take this opportunity. What you just mentioned regarding the workshop, I'll engage with you and Eunice further regarding arrangements on how we can arrange. We already have a firm that we can accommodate for the workshop. I'm not sure
You are welcome.
projectors and stuff.
Perfect.
So I'll engage with my counselor regarding that. Then we can arrange the people who are interested.
So what we would like to is as cheap as live workshops from about 25 onwards. Otherwise, it's too costly. But people always can do this, join an online workshop when we are presenting a workshop that you just join online. But I don't want to talk about too much about this. Tom has his hand. Reach out to us, and then we can create something. If you get a group together, or 2 different groups come together, then we can do this definitely live. Otherwise, you're always invited to join in the virtual room. Tom, your hand is risen.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. Just on the back of that, something that I've been working on, and I have also spoken directly with Kimberly, is securing as much used equipment as possible within the next 3 months. I believe that we can see that there's major supply chain problems happening at the moment. So one of my core focuses will be not only trying to help set up assemblies or put groups together, but also to secure as much used equipment in our market because of the supply chain problems that we're experiencing and will experience, and also potentially disruption in the economic system within the next 3 months. There's been a lot of talk of that happening between now and potentially April. So I would like to see to allow agriculture specifically to continue securing as much used equipment now as I can, construction equipment, buses, medical equipment, etc., in a short space of time. So that is something that I'm working on at the moment. I don't want it to get into the wrong hands because it can very easily. There is other models like this that has been used. An example is We Buy Cars. You know, they've been buying up massive warehouses where they actually store these cars and products. But no one has really done it yet for agriculture. And I also want to introduce, obviously, organic agriculture methods and have training centers that will train up people. My background is agriculture. I was a head of a Japanese product called Kubota, which is tractors and excavators and an ant. But I think it's very important. And I think there is an urgency because of what's happening and because of the fight that's happening. There's a bit of a tug of war at the moment. And we all know that the cabal's not just rolling over and letting things be. So they have lost power, but we need to act and make sure that we can continue with our projects and with our plans if there is going to be these disruptions. And all the signs are there that there are going to be disruptions. So I think used equipment's going to become as such a type of commodity, you know, and people will be able to trade or barter with used equipment. So that is something that I am working on at the moment, and hopefully will help others continue with their projects and with the areas that they need, as well as trying to get assemblies together and set up.
Super.
One point on the agriculture, a friend of mine recently bought an orange farm here in the area of Sirius, where somebody told me 20 or 30% of the world's harvest of oranges come from. I didn't know this. But he was told that even his organic foods are no longer really nutritious. So he didn't believe it. So he took an orange from the tree and brought it into a laboratory. A normal orange should have about 80 milligrams of vitamin C. Guess how much this orange had fresh from the tree, how many milligrams vitamin C was in there? I don't want to make a long question, but it was 0. Fresh from the tree.
South Africa's biggest export is citrus.
Yes, but
so
it's
strong. But obviously it has been infiltrated, and
what I'm saying is we need to look at the nutritious value of the things that we plant as well, because there was 0 vitamin C in the orange fresh from the tree directly in citrus style. So we really need not only to secure food, we also need to look at the nutritious food, but just a little side note.
Yeah, so one of the things we're working on quickly is also introducing GANs. Which is also working a lot more with energy and that kind of stuff within agriculture.
Yes. The whole soil needs to be not refurbished, what's the right word? Restored is maybe the right word that we're using here in many.
Re-energized.
Re-energized, restored from the restoration plan, yeah. I don't want to ignore Unati. She has her hand still risen. Shall we maybe, Unati, would you like to add something?
Okay, I think I just had a conversation now with Eunice on the chat. I need to be honest, people here. Representation is everything. I know that we want to present things, né? Regarding the national team, if we really want to present the national team for South Africa, it really needs to reflect the South African community.
Oh, is that what you mean? Okay. I thought you meant because she was giving her thoughts on something. What I say with presentation is that when you speak, if I speak what you told me, it's representing it. Presenting is when I talk about it, but you talking about white and black, is that what you're talking about?
That's the thing. I need to be honest with you.
Step up, my darling. Step up. The world's open. There are 2 places open.
Really
Step up.
Mobilize a lot of people.
Yes.
And when I tried to mobilize, and everybody was like, these people that you are presenting to us don't reflect us.
No, we're not presenting South Africa. I want to put this very, very clearly. We are not here to present the country.
I don't need you to answer. I just need to present the point. Can I do that?
I hear your point. What I say is, if anybody steps up, whether they're fat or thin or black or white, they're welcome.
Yes, but can I present my point, Eunice? Like,
Yes,
I feel like, yes, yeah. Thank you. I'm being honest, right? I'm trying to mobilize and making sure that we have people coming in for Life Force. And every time when people see Life Force in terms of the South African community, they see the faces that they don't recognize with. And they don't feel like their issues are going to be heard. And I understand that, because being a Black person, and knowing that the 1652 situation and the Jan van Riebeeck situation cost us a lot, where we were infiltrated with this whole Christian movement and the beliefs of Christians, such that even now this lockdown was actually the marker where Africans and Black community were saying, but we do have herbs that we can use, like umhlonyane, for this flu, and it was rejected because it was not scientifically proven, because the WHO only wants something that is scientifically proven, which means they want that something that, you know, the white community understands. You know what I mean? So for us, that's how it looks.
So just as I said,
I don't want injections for now. Can I speak freely, please?
Okay, sure.
Thank you. My darling, sorry. Can we have this discussion? But tonight, we want to talk about where people fit in. You already had a chance to speak, and I really want to hear you. I hear what you say, but can we stick to the topic? We've got 2 more minutes, then we're off.
It's fine. It's fine, my love. But I'm presenting a point here where I'm saying, in terms of the I want us to fit in. I want everybody to fit in, and I really want to look at that in says the representation.
I want to answer you on that. There are 2 positions open on the National Assembly now. That's what Jay said earlier. Anybody who steps up. I am only here not because I'm white. This is not about quotas and these people can and these people can't. I stepped up because I said I've got something to offer. That's the only reason I'm here. Not because of my color. So if anybody, whether it's an Indian person or a colored person or a pink person or whatever, if they step up and they've got something to offer for the National Assembly, they are welcome. We do not work on quotas. We're not going to have one of each so that it's, no. The fairness is, if you want to do it, you step up. You are equal as anybody else. We do not look at color. I'm going to say that again. Guys, we're not looking here at religion, at color, at anything of those. No groups. We look at, basically, are we looking at people? Are we looking at clean food, clean water, clean air? Are we moving forward? Whoever you are welcome.
And this goes out to everyone. We are looking for 2 people who can step up and are willing to do the work. If you are willing and able to do it, or know someone, please present us, I don't know, maybe a CV or a little application. I think this would also be fair to then put in one of the live calls up to vote, that we say these are the 3 candidates that we have, and then we can move forward. But you have to be clear, it's a position that you need to be willing to do quite a lot of work for the next 3 years. Probably Eunice and I won't be here for 3 years. We will make space when other people are stepping up, because we have lots of other things to do. I was just asked by Stefan personally to join it, and he says, really, do I have to do it? So I'm just doing it. Because there was no one, I didn't need to fill the void that was there. This is not my life task, or even for the next 3 years. I have so many projects, and I'm happy to hand over as soon as there are other people who are willing to step up.
I want to make something very clear tonight to everybody. Please, Unati, if you hear my heart with this, we are not here to present South Africa. We are not. Everyone in South Africa is a self-governing, sovereign person. They must present themselves. That is why I said no representation. We've had years and years of that. It didn't work. I do not trust people to represent me because they do not understand my heart. They do not understand where I come from. So I want to present myself. And the National Assembly is not the headquarters, the boss, the one. We are on the same level. We just do a job here. So please, every one of you, we are not your leaders and you must follow us. Please don't follow us. We are here to open the way for you, to help you with whatever help we can give you. We are here for a period of time, a maximum of 3 years. We've already done almost a year. We've done a lot of groundwork, a lot of foundational work in helping people. We're not getting paid for it. We don't get anything for it. We do it because we love people and we want to help people going forward. But this is not about us presenting you. We are not representing the country. Everyone in the community must become a self-governing community where they make the choices and they present their community to the global repository, the global funding, the global health and wellness, the global whatever. We are not going to present you in any way or represent you.
Just one more point on this.
This is not like the government's been up to now where you have leaders and you have to follow them. You do not follow us.
Yeah, just one more point on this. One of the rules that we understand is you can only be an officer in one assembly. So you can only be in the national or your community. This might change, but this is our understanding. One of the
Requisites.
Exactly. So you have to understand. You have to think about: do you want to work in your community, or do you, as an officer, or do you want to work on the national? I just see Nosifu posting. Thank you, Unati. We need it even just for optics. No, please, not for optics. We need people who are really there with the heart, with everything that they can give. Yeah, so we this is the call.
That is what we did all these years. It didn't work.
Yeah. So I don't care which religion, gender, color, whatever. Everybody is welcome. And when we have a few applications, I think we put it out to vote.
Jay, you're breaking up.
Okay, sorry. Maybe my time is over.
Unati, if you anybody, you say you put your hand up for the national position. Anybody who wants to come onto the national group to do some work there, please, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. And if anybody wants to replace me, I can leave in a heartbeat. It's not something that I want or that I'm sitting here because of the position. Guys, being an assembly officer is hard work. It's not about the position. It's about having the heart for it. In the knowledge banks, that's where the people with the knowledge and the degrees and things, that's important academically and the knowledge that you have. But in the assemblies, it's the heart for the people. So if anybody wants to join, please send us to info. I put the email up there, info@Assembly SA. Send it out to us. We're going to put it out in a vote and people can vote for you. If they want you, that's what's going to happen. It's not us deciding. We are self-governing. We are sovereign and each of us has a say. Okay.
Okay, so I think this was very inspiring that people are stepping up. The same we need for all the restoration teams and for all the knowledge banks. There's also lots of work to be done, and this is so actually we really have to say, Unati, thank you for bringing this to the point, because this was on our heart since a long time that we need to have more people. So what you put out there is just what we needed to hear right now, and just to maybe inspire others to join as well. And when we have all the applications together, we maybe have then a special voting session where everybody has, I don't know, we haven't thought about this, 10-15 minutes to present themselves, and then there can be a vote. We haven't thought about how we really do it, but we will come up with a plan, and then everybody is there. And please, the more people on the call, the more members are here, the more people can be inspired and the more people can vote. So get your people in the areas together and ask them to join.
Jay, may I please add something there just before we say goodbye, because I want you guys to understand what we've been doing for a year in the National Assembly. We've been sorting out forms, doing basic structure foundations, and it's not ours. It's just a sample so that you can do it. We did the bylaws. We spent a lot of time on the bylaws. A badge. We set up emails. We set up the Zoom. Somebody's got to pay for the Zoom. It's not for nothing, and you have to man it. And we do the presentations. We speak to the people. We onboard people. That's what we've been doing for a year. So we are not a group of people who make decisions for the country. We're opening up the way so that everybody can join. And that's all we want to do as an assembly. We do not have other jobs than that. If anybody has to choose about something, if there's a vote being put as, let's change the bus service, whatever, everybody in our country will vote on it. So the job of the assembly officers is to open the way so that everybody can vote, not to do the voting for them. We each have one vote, one vote. We're not in a higher position. I have more say or less say. We all have the same say. I just wanted to put that out to you so that you do understand our hearts. I hear you, Nati. I know I've been with people for many, many years. I've seen this. I know this firsthand. I know exactly what you're talking about. We do not want to build on that foundation. Our foundation is the resolution of one accord. And the resolution of one accord says we're all equal, we're all on the same level, we're self-governing. That's what my heart is to build on, not on what happened in the past. But for now, if you want a 6-story house, get that house, I'll come and visit you. If you want 6 Maseratis and it works out for you, do it. I want to take care of the people who do not have homes, who do not have food, who cannot take care of their children. That's where my heart is. So whatever way you are placed, and that's what you have to do, be successful at that. Please, you're special, every one of you. Stand up and be counted. Choose wisely what you want to do, but we really, really need you going forward. Thank you so much. You have a lovely evening.
Thank you so much, everyone, and hope to see you and even more people next week again. Lovely evening.
Good.
Thanks for all the contribution. Bye.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.